most common reason for startup failure is, what do you think? Well, according to the CB Insights research, the second reason was money or cash. 29%, almost 1/3 of the startups in the research mentioned that as their second most common cause of failure. But please remember, multiple causes are also frequently experienced, so we can't just look at one in isolation. In earlier research, we talked about cash flow and how important it is to a business. Well, it seems that for startups, cash flow is critical. So, one of the most important jobs of the startup founder or leaders is to understand how much cash is available, if it's enough, and if it will carry the company to the next milestone, especially because meeting the milestone might result in the startup getting financing or money, which is good news, right? Unfortunately, though, many startups fail to reach that milestone because they run out of cash too early. They haven't been managing, observing, and controlling their cash consumption. So once again, one of the CEO's most important jobs in a startup and in a big company is regulating the cash burn rate. In the early days, that means that cash should be used conservatively, carefully, and we can see that in many successful startups. They're very careful about spending money. They're careful about hiring too many people for sales and marketing staff when the startup is still in the process of making a product that meets the market needs. That's a bad mistake. It's a bad mistake because by hiring more people than is necessary, all you do in a startup is increase the burning of cash, the cash burn rate, before your business model is even proven. Or to put it another way, try to maintain a low burn rate before the data is available that proves the cost to acquire a customer is 3 times lower over a period of 12 months than the revenue you can generate from that customer. Lack of cash should never be the reason for the failure of a validated idea that has a financially viable business model. Those were the top 2 reasons for failure. So now let's move to the third reason. So what do you think? What is the third most common reason? Well, the third major reason for startup failure, mentioned in 23%, so let's say 1/4 of the cases, was to do with the founding team. It's unfortunate but true, if entrepreneurship is a battle, most of the casualties stem from friendly fire or self-inflicted wounds. And the rule here is fairly simple for a startup. The startup should have a balanced team with at least 1 technical founder and 1 business founder. As a matter of fact, successful startups with just 1 founder have a much lower probability of growing their success if they manage to do even that. It'll still take them 3.5 times longer to achieve a scalable success level compared to if they have a good team. So try to have more than 1. Another point regarding this is that founding teams, as opposed to single founders, raise 30% more money and experience almost 3 times more user growth than single founding startups. So the team is critical, and it should be balanced with business and technical capabilities. That's important to remember, the team. Now the fourth reason for failure, and I'm not going to ask you what you think about this one, I'll just come out and tell you right from the beginning, the fourth reason for failure in 20% of the cases is because of competition. And it's a fact of life in today's business environment that everything you build will be instantly copied. So the key challenge here is to gain customer insights and gain customers as fast as possible and to keep them. Get them and keep them quick. Or in startup language, retention. Retention is critical, keeping the customers. So always remember that retaining customers is much easier than growing them or acquiring them. This means the startup founders should be focused mostly on their existing customers, and while caring for those customers, they're slowly building a brand that will help them to withstand the competition that's coming or already exists. If a startup follows this rule and still observes that they're losing customers to competitors, then some of the earlier issues we discussed might be the root cause rather than the competition. And this means that if a startup can't retain customers, they have a much bigger problem than just the competition. So they should really determine what that problem is, because it's not about competition.